Welcome back to my channel. I am back with another review, so if you haven't already, please hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so that you know every time I upload a new video. A lot went down in this episode, so let's just get right into this review. So before we start talking about what happened in the Baddies Auditions Part 2, I just kind of want to do a small little recap of what happened in Part 1 of the Baddies Caribbean Auditions because I didn't end up doing a video for that one last week. So they ended up having Bobby, Janisha, and Nene as the hosts. And look, I was surprised that Nene even decided to come back after all the bullshit that went down at the Baddies East reunion. But I'm not gonna lie, I actually enjoyed Nene and Bobby as hosts. I think they did a really good job and they were both really entertaining. Now for the judges, they had Mariah Lynn, Scotty, Sapphire, Tasiki, and then they had Anna and Biggie. And look, Anna and Biggie were kind of getting on my nerves a little bit during this judging because I just felt like they weren't taking the auditioning seriously. Like they were giving people tickets for stupid reasons, and I just feel like they were encouraging drama when it comes to the girls that were auditioning. I mean, I understand they have to have fights and stuff in order for it to be entertaining because people really wouldn't want to pay attention to it if it was boring, but I just felt like Biggie was doing too much. She was trying to encourage the girls to fight a little bit too much, and then she was kind of talking shit to the girls that were auditioning, and I don't understand why she did that because when she auditioned, had they would have been talking to her like that, she wouldn't have liked it. So I just don't understand why she's doing it to the girls who are trying to audition now. And Biggie can't really fight, so I just don't understand why she was disrespecting these girls like that, because had it came down to her actually having to fight one of them, she probably would have ended up getting beat up. Now, I don't think that the girls who are auditioning should be able to put their hands on the judges, but I don't think that the judges should be talking down to the girls auditioning either. So Shenseea, Spice, and Natalie are the final judges, so they have the final say of who goes to the next round. And so before the girls can get to Natalie, Shenseea, and Spice, they have to go through the other judges first. And let me just say, the first half of this judging situation was a hot mess. There was one girl who said that she quit her job just to show up to the auditions. And somebody tell me in the comment section if the girl who said that she quit her job to be there actually ended up getting a ticket, because I honestly did not remember seeing her at the audition process, so I don't know if she got a ticket, but I hope she did since she decided to sacrifice her job for this opportunity, because I think it's weird that she quit her job for it, because a lot of the girls who audition, most of them don't make it on the show. Like Natalie basically casts people who are already known, so maybe only like one or two of the girls who actually auditioned will actually get on the show. And then there was one girl that was so drunk that I don't even think she was able to make it to her audition, because she was in her car drunk, passed out, and her friend was telling her, look, I just drove 6 hours for you to be here and you're too drunk to even do the audition. I would have been pissed off too if I just drove 6 hours for my friend to do an audition and she got too drunk to be able to do it. I don't understand why these girls be drinking before they go out there. Maybe a shot because it'll get your nerves away a little bit when you're trying to do the auditions because you don't want to be shy. But drinking as much as that girl did, nope, she ruined her opportunity. And somebody please tell me why Slim decided to audition for this season of Baddies, because she was already on Baddies. She was on Baddies South, and she sat there and said that the only reason why she came to the audition is because she wants to fight Natalie. And to me, that doesn't really make any sense, because how are you coming to an audition for somebody's show and you want to fight the person whose show it actually is? Like, they're not going to cast her for this season. That was stupid of her to even do it. And I actually really liked Slim on Baddies South, but I don't know why she decided to come to this audition if all she wanted to do was fight Natalie, as if they were really going to let her inside to fight her. Like, that didn't make any sense, but we'll have to wait and see when they do the third part of this audition process. Now, there was a girl who came to the audition and she was in a wheelchair, and I just honestly didn't understand why she came, because she knows that she wasn't going to be able to be casted, or at least I hope she knows she wasn't going to be able to be casted. Even though they liked her, they can't put her on a show like this because, number one, they're constantly moving around. They have to go to all these club appearances and all that stuff like that, and then there's a bunch of fighting that goes on, so there's no way they were going to be able to cast this girl for the season. Although I do think that it was good that she decided to put her face out there, because maybe more people will find out who she is and maybe she can grow a following that way. One girl even tried to fight Biggie because she felt like Biggie was disrespecting her and she was instigating a fight between her and another girl, and she did not like that. And so when she basically tried to swing at Biggie, security obviously held her back, and that's when Anna ended up jumping up and trying to fight this girl. Now, Anna should have sat down. I understand that she's friends with Biggie now, so she wants to try to defend her friend, but Biggie needs to be able to defend herself, because because all the mouth that she has to be able to back it up some way, shape, or form, because Anna's not always going to be with her to fight her battles for her. So I do respect the fact that Anna was trying to defend Biggie, that's her friend, but Biggie needs to be able to defend herself too. And then the mother of one of Antonio Brown's children ended up showing up to the auditions. And look, I understand that she wants to make a name for herself, but using his name is not necessarily making a name for herself. I do feel like it's good that she didn't say anything bad about him, even though he was calling her all types of names on social media when he found out that she did the audition, which I thought was wrong. I do think that they're going to end up letting her in because of who she's connected to, which to me is not really fair to the other girls that don't know nobody in the business that decided to come to the audition. But look, if she gets in, she gets in. Now let's get to what happened in part 2 of the Baddies Caribbean audition. So there was a girl that ended up showing up to the auditions, and basically she confronted Biggie because apparently the two of them have beef, and I don't understand why the girl decided to even show up to the auditions thinking that she was going to get casted when she wants to fight one of the girls who are the judges of the show. I just don't understand why she did that, because she ruined her opportunity. I don't know if she really wanted an opportunity or if she just wanted to fight Biggie, but she threw some water at Biggie and tried to fight her, and all the other baddies ended up jumping up to try to fight the girl because they weren't about to let her attack Biggie, which I think is good that they're standing by Biggie, one of their fellow baddies, because look, when you are on a show like this, when you go out places, there's going to be people who do not like you and they're going to want to fight you. So a lot of the baddies do need to stick together, and I think that's exactly what they ended up doing. So there was these twins who ended up auditioning. They were both really pretty to me, and they both ended up getting a ticket. I feel like both of them might get casted, and if not both of them, maybe one of them will, because they did stand out from a lot of the other girls who auditioned. However, I would not like to see a repeat of the Victor twins from season 8 of the Bad Girls Club, where they attacked people together and they were jumping people and all that stuff like that. I just really didn't like watching that on that season. So if they do end up getting casted, I hope they're not going to be like the Victor twins. And once again, there was another girl that ended up showing up to beef with one of the judges. There was a girl who said that she didn't like that Mariah Lynn was casted for Baddies East because she felt like she was the one who should have been casted for it. I don't know why she thinks that she would have been casted over Mariah, because Mariah Lynn already has a following and she was on Love and Hip Hop, and for this show, if you pay attention, they mostly cast people who are already known. So I don't know why she thought she should have been casted over Mariah. And Mariah was gonna give her a ticket, but the girl wanted to fight her, and the other judges were encouraging Mariah to fight the girl. They never actually got to fight. They almost did, but security ended up taking the girl away. But she just ruined her opportunity to be casted on the show, or at least maybe get casted for the show, because Mariah was going to give her a ticket. And Shenseea and Spice ended up having a back and forth. It was kind of like a little funny back and forth though. Like, it wasn't serious, but they were talking about why the two of them are not really cool anymore. Spice said that she ended up blocking Shenseea because Shenseea unfollowed her, and Shenseea was saying that that wasn't true. I don't know everything that they were saying, but to me, they were laughing and smiling while they were having this back and forth. So to me, they weren't really serious about it. But I did like listening to them talk. Like, I just like listening to Jamaicans talk. I just like it. Now, one of the things for this audition process that didn't make any sense to me is that you get 2 different tickets. Some people might get a golden ticket and it has $5,000 on it, and then the other girls get a green ticket. But if you get that golden ticket, that doesn't guarantee that you're going to be casted for the show. You just get $5,000, which, look, a lot of the girls who auditioned could probably really use that $5,000, so I'm not saying it was wrong, but you gave them a golden ticket and they're not even going to be guaranteed to be casted for the show. Now it's time for the girls to end up going to see Shenseea, Spice, and Natalie. And look, one of the girls started rapping, and then another girl started rapping, and then one girl wanted to take the attention away from the other girl that was rapping, so she ended up lighting her butt on fire. I was like, what the hell is this girl doing? Like, these girls are crazy. They will do anything to get casted for the show. I will say that security should have done a better job with keeping the girls away from the judges' table, though, because you don't know what those girls were going to do to either Shenseea, Spice, or Natalie, and so I don't think that it was cool that the girls were able to get way too close to that table. But things started to get really crazy because they knew it was down to the wire, and if they didn't get a ticket this round, they weren't going to be able to even be thought of as somebody to be a part of the Caribbean cast. So look, it got really, really messy at one point because one girl's mic turned off, and so she snatched the microphone out of one of the other girls' hand, and the two of them started fighting. And Spice ended up giving one of those girls a ticket. I understand that on this show, you kind of have to fight because you don't know when you're gonna have to. But I just don't understand what's the point of making these girls fight at the auditions. Like, they'll fight on their own without being encouraged to fight by the judges. So I just don't get that. Now, this Puerto Rican girl from Jocelyn's Cabaret, I don't know her name because I don't watch that show and I didn't catch it during the audition process, but she ended up making it into the next round because Spice gave her a ticket because she ended up showing her passport. That showed how many times she goes to Jamaica, and she knew a lot of things about Jamaica. And I don't know if I was hearing this correctly during the auditions, but Natalie said that this particular girl ended up fighting Jocelyn, or if she didn't fight Jocelyn, she tried to fight Jocelyn. I don't know, it was just a really messy situation, but I have a feeling that she's gonna end up getting casted just because Natalie wants to throw it in Jocelyn's face because they were beefing with each other over whose show was better. One girl had the right idea because she showed up dressed in a carnival outfit and she basically stood out from the rest of the girls, so she made it through without having to do absolutely anything. And look, she made the right choice because she got noticed out of all the other girls. She didn't even have to fight. I was cringing at the fact that Natalie had these girls showing their boobs for a ticket, though. That didn't make any sense to me. Like, I don't understand why the girls have to do stuff like that in order to get noticed. I don't know. It was just weird to me. There was one girl that called herself Diamond the Body, and she came there dressed up, and she basically got into a fight with a girl in an orange shirt at the auditions. And look, it got really crazy between the two of them because when the girl with the orange shirt was talking to the judges, Diamond the Body came out of nowhere and tried to snatch her up. And the girl in the orange shirt kind of took over that fight a little bit for me. But they ended up giving both those girls a ticket. But at one point, both of their wigs were off because of the fight that they had. And the girl with the orange shirt ended up getting the golden ticket with the $5,000. And Diamond the Body was not happy about that. And so basically the girl in the orange shirt and Diamond the Body were about to fight again. But that did not end up happening. And the girl in the orange shirt grabbed both of their wigs and took it and left. There was one girl that was kind of quiet. She had braids and army pants on, and she was standing in the back, and the judges kind of didn't understand why she wasn't talking as much as the other girls. So she came up to the front and she started saying that the reason why she wasn't doing too much is because she doesn't have to do that to be noticed. This is the light-skinned girl with the braids and the army pants on, okay? So basically, Natalie asked the other girls if they were going to try the girl, and none of them got up to try her, so Natalie was getting ready to hand the girl a ticket, and when the girl was reaching for a ticket, this girl named Haley that was in the back, she had blonde hair with a bang, she ran up. And then when the girl with the army pants and the braids ended up turning around, she stopped and backed up a little bit as if she was scared because the girl noticed that she was behind her. And when the judges started questioning her as to why she ran up on the girl, she tried to say that she wasn't trying to run up on the girl, that she was just trying to take the ticket from her, which was kind of weird. To me, it looked like she was trying to run up on the girl, and once the girl turned around, she got scared and backed out of it. So the girl with the braids and the army pants ended up getting a ticket, but she ended up running up on the girl Haley with the blonde hair and the bangs, and the two of them kind of started fighting, but the girl with the braids and the army pants on was on top of the girl with the blonde hair. And while they were on the floor fighting, a bunch of stuff started falling around them. Basically, the setup for production and for the auditions kind of fell. It didn't fall on top of them, but it fell around them, so things were just getting really out of control. And Just Brittany from Love and Hip Hop ended up auditioning for the show. Now, I know a lot of people were saying, why is she auditioning for the show when she was on Love and Hip Hop and she's already known? But Mariah Lynn ended up auditioning last season and she got on the show, so maybe she thought that's what she had to do in order to get on. Now, I kind of don't want them to cast Just Brittany for the show. I wasn't a fan of her on Love and Hip Hop, and I just kind of wish that they would stop putting people from other shows on here that are already known already. Like, I don't mind the girls from Jocelyn's Cabaret being put on the show because they're still just regular girls, but having people from Love and Hip Hop and all that stuff like that, I'm just not interested in seeing them on Baddies. And at the very end of this reunion, Amber and Chanel, who were also on Jocelyn's Cabaret, ended up auditioning for the show. And look, Natalie seemed to have a really big head during this situation because she sees that a lot of the girls from Jocelyn's Cabaret are trying to jump ship to Baddies, and that makes her happy because her and Jocelyn have been beefing about who has the better show. And because Natalie is petty sometimes, she'll probably end up casting both of them, if not one of them, because she wants to prove to Jocelyn that she has the better show. And since the girls from Jocelyn's show are trying to be on Baddies now, she feels like she's vindicated in saying that she has the better show. But Amber and Chanel apparently have beef with each other, and so at the very end of this audition, the two of them are getting ready to fight, and that's where the episode ends. So those are my thoughts on this week's episode of Baddies East. Let me know what you guys thought about this episode down in the comment section. Don't forget to hit that like button for me. I appreciate it. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more videos and hit the notification bell so that you know every time I upload a new video. Thank you so much to everybody who has subscribed to my channel. I appreciate you all. And until next time, I will talk to you guys in my next video.